When I first started introducing students to soloing by teaching them scales, their playing just sounded like they were chasing notes up and down the scale. Eventually I realized that the problem wasn't them, it was how I was teaching soloing. What I discovered, and what most teachers don't explain, is that the key to great solos is not more notes, it's doing more with less. I'm Lincoln, and in this video I'll show you the simple 4-note system that I now use to help my students unlock their creativity so that you can start sounding more melodic and musical right away. Let's get into it. We're going to start by soloing over a blues backing track, but we're only going to use 4 notes. And these are the 4 notes right here. We've got the 5th and 7th frets of the D string, and then the 5th and 7th frets of the G string. That's it, just those 4 notes. Let's start by playing the notes in order with a steady rhythm. Now, as you're probably thinking, that is going to get boring really fast. So the first way that we can create some interest is simply by leaving some space, and that just means leaving longer gaps between the notes. Already that sounds like phrasing and not just a pattern. So the second way to create rhythmic interest is to change the subdivision, or the speed of the notes. So at the moment we've been doing crotchets or quarter notes, and that just means to play on every beat. But we can also do quavers or eighth notes, we can do triplets, or we can do semiquavers or 16th notes. So with just rhythm alone, we now have a lot of creative options, and we haven't even changed the order of the notes yet. So next, let's change up the order of the notes. Now here's something that a lot of guitar players never realize. If we have 4 notes, so 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 24 different ways we can mix these notes up, and these are called permutations. You will naturally fall into a few of them, like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 4, 3, 2, 1. But others, like 1, 3, 2, 4, or 1, 4, 3, 2, are more unexpected, and that's where you can find some interesting examples that you wouldn't normally think to play. So you have all of these possibilities with the permutations, and that's without even adding the rhythm back in yet. So let's combine some of these permutations with the rhythms that we explored earlier. So have a play around with those and let me know in the comments which ones sound the most interesting to you, or which ones do you find yourself playing the most. Now I know at this point some of you are thinking, hang on a second, real solos don't just use each note once. One of the most powerful devices in music is repetition, not just of complete phrases, but of individual notes. So let's throw these permutations out the window for a second and just explore repeating notes with any note order and rhythms that we feel like. So far we've talked about what notes to play and when to play them. Now let's talk about how to play them. This is where your solos go from sounding like exercises to music. These 5 techniques will completely transform those same 4 notes, and it's one of the biggest things that beginner soloists overlook. These are called articulations, and they're what give your playing personality, feel, and style. Hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides, bends, and vibrato. Now watch what happens when we combine everything we've learnt so far: rhythm, articulations, permutations, and repeated notes. Okay, so I can see some of you thinking, this is all very cool, but my favorite guitar heroes are not playing 4-note solos. Fair point. And this is where this system gets really powerful and why it's actually a system and not just a trick. The 4 notes that we've been playing come straight out of the classic A minor pentatonic shape, the one everyone learns. But here's the key difference with this system. Rather than running the scale up and down, we're going to break it up into 4-note chunks like this. By breaking up the scale like this and being aware of all the creative possibilities, you can explore each 4-note group without feeling the need to rush through the entire position. I'll give you an example. Notice how I'm not just running up and down the scales. I'm using the same rhythm, repetition, and articulation concepts we learned, only now I have more notes to explore. Hopefully by this point you can see that we now have plenty of options to avoid simply running up and down the scale. But we're still stuck in one position, and it's the same position that I've seen countless players get stuck in. There's so much music in one position, but there's also an entire fretboard to explore. What if I told you that this exact system works in every position, in any key, and anywhere on the fretboard? The rhythmic concepts, the articulations, the permutations, it all works everywhere. So if you want to escape this position and have total freedom playing through multiple positions with this material, click this video next. I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching.